Hey, scrappy people, Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with day 4 of my 2020 December daily, and today I'm going to be having some fun with embossing powder, which is not something that you usually see me use, but I saw somewhere where someone had embossed white, I believe white, on acetate. So that is what I'm doing today, and just so you know, just to be completely transparent as this acetate here, this was not easy. This was not something that happened to go well the first time. In fact, I think I made 4 different transparency sheets because I was experimenting and trying a few things, and I also even used white StazOn ink directly on the photo to see if I liked that better. The problem that I was coming across first was that I did not have the proper tools for embossing, so I went and bought the tray that you see on the right hand side there, as well as the chalky thing that makes it so that there is less static cling, and so the embossing powder doesn't stick in places where you don't want it to stick. And then I also was having a problem because this transparency is just regular like overhead projector transparency, the kind that you print on, and it is not heat resistant. So I did get some curling up of the transparency. No matter how careful I was, it did wrinkle a little bit. And just so you know, the one that I'm working on in this part of the video is not the one that I end up going with, because I do end up, this was a different kind of transparency. I was seeing if it was better, and I do end up, this one got super wrinkly compared to just a regular transparency. So I ended up going with a different one, and yet even with all of my careful planning and anti-static cling stuff, all of it, there is still embossing powder in places where I don't want it to be, and I think that's just the hazard of working with transparencies rather than working on like a cardstock. So it is what it is, and I left it after the 4th time around because I decided that it just kind of looked like snow, and this is again not the finished copy, but it kind of looked like snow, and since it's snowflakes, I felt like little snow flurries kind of went with the theme, and it worked. It worked as well as it was going to work, I think. It's just something that I'm going to have to practice a little bit more. Embossing to begin with is not my strength, so embossing on plastic was really not my strength, and this, you can see that this piece of plastic really curled up, so this is why I didn't keep this one. I ended up doing another one after this, but at that point I was so tired of re-recording the same video over and over again, I didn't actually record the next one. So you'll see slight differences, and it won't be as curly when we jump ahead to the next scene, but it is what it is, you know. Everything is a learning process, and I'm okay with learning as I create projects. Not everything is going to be perfect, and that's okay. So yeah, that was how you emboss on plastic, and I really suggest going with the heat resistant plastic, the heat resistant acetate, and I actually looked it up after this, and it's like out everywhere, so I'll have to keep an eye on it and find it when it's back in stock. So here is the finished product with the transparency. You can see there's a few white dots all around it, but whatever. I'm going to take these little white cardstock hearts that I just punched out, and I'm actually going to put them directly on the photo so that they stay on the photo when this page is turned. And I'm actually going to put it on both sides of this large photo. And you can see on the photo that I have 2 places, one on each side, where there's kind of dead space in the photo. One is that table on the left hand side. There's sort of a dead area on the table, and then there is a dead area up in the top right corner of the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those places as places for my journaling, and what I decided to do is I thought about making it more complicated because this page seemed really simple as long as that embossing process took me. The page itself came out really simple, and I felt like I needed to do more to it. But really, I love this photo. This photo really should be the star and should speak for itself. So after all was said and done, I decided to just add in some journaling half circles to the spread and call it good. And that's okay. I am not a simple scrapbooker. I don't like, less is more is not my motto, but sometimes less really is more for me, and so that is what I decided to do. Now I am popping these little hearts up on pop dots to give this page a little bit of dimension, and I'm going to pop up the journaling on pop dots as well, so that it just has a little bit of texture, a little bit of dimension on this flat-ish layout. I forgot to mention that the stamps that I used are Catherine Pooler Designs stamps, and they are so cute. I got a lot of fun snowflakes in the mail from Catherine, and even though we don't really live in a place that gets a lot of snow, I was super happy to find a way to use a universal phrase such as "you melt my heart." And these papers that I'm using, the only product that I'm using besides the stamps, are from my Stay Home for the Holidays collection, of course, because that is what I'm using for the majority of this album. So you can see I'm popping the journaling up on pop dots, and that is going to be the extent of what I do for this spread. I am going to add in a little something once I get it all in the album, but really that was it. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of vellum snowflakes from the Cocoa Daisy Cranberry Rose collection, and I'm going to glue them back to back as a page flip for that transparency. And then I'm going to call it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed, and I am doing a December daily Advent series over on Instagram as well, where I'm creating little embellishment ideas for you in speed scrap version. So if you'd like to watch that, I will leave a link to my Instagram in the comments section below. But yeah, I'd love it if you leave some comment love on this video as well. All right, I will see you next time. Thank you.